This is actually probably one of the funniest situations I've been in my entire life. Let's fix this. So I made my first vision board when I was probably 10 years old, maybe a little bit older than that, when it was so like popular to do it on Pinterest and YouTube and stuff like that. And I did it on paper because I didn't have a computer back then. And I just cut a bunch of things from different magazines. I printed a bunch of Pinterest images and like put it on my wall so that I can see it every day. And I kept it there for like 6 months. It kind of made me feel sad about myself because I didn't have any control about my life and the directions that I was choosing, like having a big iPhone or going to New York, things like that, or like the perfect body. A lot of very not so controllable outcomes over my life at that point in my life. And so 6 months later I took it down and I felt kind of bad about it, and I just decided that vision boards are kind of useless. And then I made another one when I was 15 and I actually did it right. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit what kind of can go wrong in a vision board, and it's a very incredibly helpful tool to do and to use in your daily life, but only if you do it in a way that it will actually help you and not just make a pretty picture. So I actually brought, I have it on my computer, my little vision board that I made for 2026, and I don't know if you can see it actually. I'm probably gonna paste a better picture of it somewhere, but yeah, it's very colorful. And I made it like 2 weeks before the new year. Usually I make it exactly on the new year time, but like this year I was like, no, I kind of need motivation to do something in the winter break of university. So I was like, okay, let's do it a little bit before, because it doesn't really matter when you do it. Like, it's not a new year thing. Like, actually it's kind of stupid to only do things like this on the new year, in my opinion, because then the January will become your most productive month and then February your least productive month. So it's, yeah, you can do it as many times as you think it will be helpful for you to do it. So the problem with the vision board that I made when I was very young is that I was making a wish list, not necessarily a vision board. And one of the main things that made it a wish list is that I was choosing things that I wanted, and I wasn't really understanding why I wanted them, or how willing I would be to go get them, or how much I can actually feasibly get. And I kind of knew that I couldn't get the things that I put on my vision board, which is one of the reasons why it was not working at all. Because I feel like you should put on a vision board things that you think are actually going to happen. You have some sort of a certainty that you can make it happen if you focus on it for a long time. Research actually shows that vision boards actually help us achieve our goals and more of our goals, because you kind of stare at those goals for every single day of your life, especially if you put it on your computer or somewhere on your wall. But the board itself is no magic. And if you put an iPhone on there, it's probably not going to come to you, and you probably already know that. So how do you actually make a vision board that will actually help you and will trigger a lot of the good things in your brain that will make you actually achieve your goals? So why do most vision boards fail? And probably yours will too if you don't follow this list. 1, making it a wish list instead of a vision. You should envision yourself next year, what kind of life you want to get, and you can feasibly get that on your vision board. Not necessarily separate things, but more like a balance of things. And I think also your board should also include the path and the journey you take to get there, not only the destination. So if you want to start running a marathon by the end of the year, you can put someone, I don't know, tying their shoelaces, because that's the first step you need to take to actually run a marathon. And it's a very easy step. Training schedule, or crossing the 5K finish line, then a 10K, then the marathon. So show this kind of process over time, and not only the trophy, because the trophy will make you feel bad about yourself when you don't realize that you didn't do it. But if you have these little evolution stages that you can see yourself going through, then you will feel better about yourself, because you feel like, oh, I didn't get to the end goal, but I made a lot of progress. 2, you shouldn't be vague at all. Like, you cannot say, I want to be healthy. You cannot say, I want to have a 6-pack, or I want to travel. Cool, but everyone else wants to do that too, so I don't think it's that helpful. And I know I also ended up in the same situation as you, because I get motivated from vague things. I think vision boards have to be extremely specific. How much do you want to earn this year? What will your ideal weight will be, and what kind of steps are you going to take to get to that weight? What destination do you actually want to travel to? Like, why are you saying you want to travel? That's not going to get you anywhere. But like, if you say, oh, I want to travel to Antarctica this year, then it's probably going to get you somewhere if you save enough money, because it's quite expensive. I learned very recently. Another thing that might be a mistake is putting images that don't make you feel something. So most images on the vision board should make you feel something. Not necessarily think of something, but make you actually feel something. So excitement, joy, determination, relief. If you're looking at your vision board and it doesn't spark any emotion, it probably won't spark any action either. Without that emotion, you're kind of just looking at picture, and most actions are driven by emotions. So I think it's a very important thing that we're probably not all doing. Mistake we can make is just making it and then forgetting about it. So I think you should actually put it somewhere that you cannot forget. Like, put it somewhere that you're actually going to see every day. And even if you're putting it as a wallpaper or somewhere where you can see it daily, actually, just glancing at it like it's like part of the furniture or part of your computer, not really understanding what it even means when you're glancing on it every single day, it's probably not going to help you that much. So actively engaging with it every time you see it. So opening your computer and spending like a few seconds just looking at it and feeling those emotions that we planted in the images. That's how neuroplasticity works. Like, that's what's going to trigger neuroplasticity, because every single day you're feeling the emotions that you want to be feeling in 1 year. And of course, a final mistake is thinking that the vision board is going to do things for you. It's not really going to do things for you, but it can definitely move you in the right direction. It can definitely bring you a lot of motivation that you might not have otherwise. And it can definitely make you think of the things that you want more often, which will bring them into your life, because you're trying to bring them into your life, because you're thinking about them. So what actually happens when you're using a vision board, and why does it actually work? And specifically, what's happening in your brain when you're doing this? So your brain learns what to focus on when you actually clarify your desires and then reinforce them with visual images and visual reminders. And this is why it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're actually making a vision board. And this process is called value tagging. And basically your brain assigns higher value to images than to text. So the more you look at those images, the more value and priority those images have in your brain system. And actually there's been a lot of studies on this. And also neuroscientist Dr. Tara Swart, maybe that's her name, says that looking at images in your vision board will make you notice opportunities in your daily life related to those images and those goals that you might otherwise just not see. And this makes sense because there's something called the RA, reticular activating system. And basically this is your brain's filter that kind of decides what information goes through into your actual conscious awareness. And when you specifically focus on specific visuals, then that part of your brain will start filtering for information and opportunities that relate to those. So suddenly you notice things that you might have not noticed before, and opportunities and even possibilities that you have not noticed before that are related directly to the images that you see every day. It can also give you more motivation, because if you actually feel those emotions every time you open your computer, it's like a positive thing. And every time you do it, you stimulate your neural pathways. And it can even lead to like higher cognitive function when you're doing it. So your brain works better after you do it. So how do you actually make a vision board that actually works? 1, get clear into what you actually want. What do I actually want? Not what do I think I should want. Why do I do this? Keep asking why at every step. What would having this change about my life? And am I willing to do what it takes to actually get this? And you can write stuff down, be specific, or like actually find images that are very specific to what you actually want. If you want to take this one step further, you can make this very measurable. So even though you're not putting it directly on your vision board, or maybe you're putting it somewhere very small, you can say exactly what goals you have, like the numbers. So how much do you want to make? How much do you want to spend in Portugal in the summer? And things like that, like the exact outcome that you want. And although maybe you won't get to the outcome, you will definitely have it as more of a tangible goal than something like an idea that you have. The images that actually make you feel something, and engage with that feeling every single time you open the vision board. Include the process, not just the price. So the entire steps that you want to take, or a few of the entire steps that you want to take to get to that goal. And I think it's pretty nice that you can do it digitally, so that you actually have it on your digital spaces when you're working, and you can take it with you everywhere. And you can also update it pretty easy. And make sure that every day you're opening that vision board and actually engaging with it for a few seconds. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sure if you liked it, then you're gonna like this one too. Love you guys, have the best day of your life, and have the best year of your life too. Kisses. Bye bye.